Hey guys, good morning. I'm back with another pick a card reading if my voice will last this long. This is going to be messages from your divine complement, since you guys seem to really like that reading. So we're going to do one more. There are 4 choices here. So you'll want to pause this recording if you need to take some time, but pick 1 through 4. One of those cards, or pick one, or pick more than one. All the messages might resonate with you. So sometimes it's not unusual for more than one to be telling a similar but slightly different story. So do as you feel fit. I just want to take a moment to thank all my new subscribers, because I have received quite a few new subscribers, which is awesome. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe. And if you hit the little bell, that will give you a notification every time I post a new reading. And I've been doing a lot of these pick-a-card readings because people really seem to like them, and I enjoy doing them for you. Also, while I'm at it, check out my website, which is redhoundreiki.com. If you're interested in scheduling a reading or healing session with me, either remotely or in person, it's easier than ever to schedule with me. You can just do it right there on my website. And I approve the appointment and off we go. So please do check that out. And so without further ado, I'm going to get started with group number 1 here, if you're ready. So, sorry, just checking the times. I want to try to timestamp this for you. Okay, so first so I took all the jumping cards this time as opposed to just choosing one. So there are different numbers of cards in each one of these piles, so you're aware. So I feel like this person is saying to you that basically they're going through a period of reforming or transforming on the inside. They're going through a healing process, which is allowing them to take what was formerly a very I feel like they had extreme tendencies before, and they're kind of reining that back in. They're finding balance within themselves internally, because they realize that like they were blowing off a lot of energy unnecessarily by occupying just the extremes. So by pulling that back in, they're bringing themselves into a state of balance. And they're enabling then the start of this healing process. And they're like literally, they're telling you that they're literally turning over a new leaf. Like they're changing their road forward. And it's through this healing process and this sort of reining in of these extreme tendencies. I feel like they are seeing themselves in a more balanced way as well. And they're trying to make decisions based on objectivity. I'm looking here at the Queen of Swords, of course, when I say that. And it's like they were getting so lost in their emotions before that they were not making good choices. They were making really poor choices. And they're realizing that through this middle way, through this middle path, they are able to get a grasp of themselves. It's almost like this person didn't have a hold of themselves. Like they just feel really imbalanced to me. And the new thing here is that they're turning it over. They're turning their truth around. And before they were basing their truth upon their emotions, and they accepted their extreme emotions as their truth before. And now they're understanding that is like that is a kind of truth, but there's also another level of truth where you pull emotion out of it. You have to look at things a little more objectively, and you have to include other people's point of view and perspectives in order to have a healthy balance of perspectives, if that makes any sense. So they're kind of moving away from this really overly, it feels overly indulgent. It feels a little bit like a loose cannon, this person. But they're getting out of that, which is so incredible. Like, I see that they're reining it all in, and they're successful at it, and they're moving forward to a better place on a mental and emotional scale for themselves. We're clarified here by the deceit card, and I feel like in this situation, I'm feeling that a lot in my heart chakra. And I don't feel like anybody's lying, but it's almost like they were kidding themselves into thinking that just because they felt a certain way, that meant it was the truth. And now they're starting to understand the difference between your personal feelings and what might set you off and the actual truth. There's usually some kernel of truth in it, but our feelings are also triggered by all of our experiences and all of our biases and everything else. So it's like they were lying to themselves all this time, and now they're kind of understanding, oh my gosh, there's a whole other way to look at life. And then we have two messages from it's called the Lover's Oracle. They're these tiny little heart-shaped cards, which are just impossible to shuffle, but two popped out. And one says, life is a series of constantly shifting cycles. When we resist change, we resist the natural flow of life and create unnecessary stress. Go with the flow. You will be surprised where it leads. And the second card here is healing. Imagine yourself and your beloved surrounded by light. Feel your relationship being healed at this very moment. So I feel like this person is saying, hey, I get where I was off in the past. I was really on the wrong track, but I've learned how to balance myself, and I've learned how to be a little more objective, to see other people's points of view. And I'm having a lot of success with that. I'm moving into a better place. I've received this healing, and I'm allowing the healing to do its, work its magic in my life. And this is a huge change for me. I've come full circle. I've ended this cycle, and this is a new cycle beginning. So I think that they're essentially asking for another chance. That they may have pushed you out of their lives in the past because of their behavior, but I feel that they're asking for another chance here. Okay, so I hope that resonates. All right, moving on to group number 2. Okay, a lot of hard work being done here. So I feel like the message from this person is kind of that they have really been unhappy where they are. I get the impression that they're mad as hell, and they want out of the situation that they're in. I get this feeling like they're saying, I'm going to everybody. I'm going to my friends. I'm going to the church. I'm going to the community. I'm going to anybody who will listen to try to gain the resources I need to get the hell out of this. I'm gaining my personal power here with the King of Wands. I feel like there's a lot of spiritual work going on here. But it's also, there's a lot of work going on with this person that has to do with the requirements that they've placed on themselves that are not really in their highest and best good. It's it's coming from a place of old ways of being, old ways of doing things. They're realizing, while as they gain their personal power, that like this, just because it's the way it's always been done doesn't mean it's right. And so they're working on breaking these chains here, with the devil appearing in this reading, breaking the chains of the expectations of society or other people, or what they've been taught, or their parents or their partner. This is definitely somebody caught up in a karmic situation of some kind. And it's requiring them to really look at the way that they've limited their power in the past based on other people's expectations, based on things outside of themselves, which are not in resonance with their true mission and their true being. They're really working on finding who they are. And in some cases, they may be a little bit too self-critical about themselves and their journey. They might be feeling like they're not making enough progress, or they don't feel like they're good enough to move forward, to break out of these chains, that they're still arguing with themselves a little bit about where they should be in life. This may also, for some people, have to do with a job that they hate, but they feel like they need to be in order to be stable, successful, affluent, or even just solvent. But it's like they want to viciously cut all of this away because it's really killing them. It's really parasitically sucking the life out of them. And they're working on that, and just they're just saying that, like, they're building their own personal strength. They're giving themselves like this brand new perspective on the way that their life is going to unfold, because they really stepped into whatever situation they're in thinking everything was going to go in a very different way, and thinking that they were obligated to do certain things or be certain things for other people, because somehow that was the way it should have been, or that was the way that they thought it should have been, or they were taught it should have been. I feel like there are two cards here suggestive of karma, and that's the devil and the contract card from the energy oracle. So I feel like there are things that there are contracts of sorts that they put into place before entering this lifetime that they are currently playing out in order to gain their new beginning, in order to gain their own personal power, their own self-empowerment. That there is a part of this life that required them to get sick and tired of being sick and tired, basically, and then put in the work to gain that kind of self-empowerment, to break the chains that they've been in from the beginning of this life. And so the Lover's Oracle card for this person is New Beginning. A new adventure awaits. Embrace it and live your dreams passionately. So I feel like they're saying they are knee deep in the work of gaining the momentum, the personal power to break these chains in this contract. And it's like they know and they're aware of how much they dislike the situation they're in. They're just pissed off at this point. But they're also aware that it's a process, and that there's a learning curve, and that there are things that they are learning in order to break out of this, okay? They will do it. They will succeed. So don't feel like this is a hopeless cause. They will do it. You've got your new beginning here. But it is a process. So they're going to need your patience a little bit while they get through this, and understanding, because they're pissed off that they're in this situation. Okay, I hope this resonates. For those of you who chose number 2, moving on to number 3. Okay. We have somebody here who is a really hard worker. They're really trying to take control of their situation, or they have taken control of their situation to start moving things in the direction that they want. And they want this new love. Apparently, they're aware of and know what this new love is. They want this, and they really feel like this is divinely guided. This may be a feminine energy, whereas I'm typically reading out masculine energies. But I might be reading out a feminine energy here. It could go either way. Looking at this envy card, I feel like there's some of the dark feminine kind of in here. But this person is taking control of their own destiny at this point. They're sick of waiting. They might be sick of waiting around for whoever, whatever person that they have been hoping to manifest into their life. So they might be making new choices right now based upon, they're making new choices, I feel like, based upon their own feeling of being deserving of love and being deserving of a relationship in which they are valued. And they may have been waiting for a relationship or been in a relationship where they didn't feel that sense of value. They felt this like stagnancy. And in some ways, I feel like they might be jealous of other people who are like able to achieve this level of relationship where it's an equal give and take, and there is expression of emotions or of individual truths. I feel like in some sense they're making this choice to move themselves forward, releasing their past energies or releasing whatever energies they've held on to in the past, because they feel they deserve better. They feel they deserve this new love. They know that they want it. In this case, they may have been focusing either on the wrong person, or it's just the wrong time for that person. And so it's necessary for them to really detach. We have this freedom card here. Freedom. There's nothing stopping you. The path is clear if you want it to be. And then the past is now behind you. Release it and embrace new possibilities. A new path is now available to you. Follow it with faith. So this doesn't necessarily mean that what you wanted is not going to happen. I don't want to trigger anybody in that way. But it's almost like you had started to bring in, you or this other person is bringing in energies that are lower vibrational. And so this person realizes that and knows they have to free themselves from it. And so they have to take control of that situation, create an ending so that the wheel can start to turn in the direction of this new love that they want. And we don't know. It could be the same love, just circling its way back once this unhealthy energy is released. And the healthy energy of the third chakra, the solar plexus, the I am presence, the part of you that holds your self-esteem and knows what you truly deserve. Once that is the guiding principle here. And this person is awake enough and knowledgeable enough to know when they're allowing lower vibrational energies to push the wheel, and they don't want that. And so that goes along with this third Lover's Oracle Heart card, which says power. You instinctively know what is right for you, and you have the power to say no or walk away at any time. So I feel like you're understanding that the energy of the situation is not ideal. And you're resetting it so that it does come from a more ideal place. In some ways, this is a form of manipulation. We have the Magician here. But it's not negative. It's more taking control of your own destiny, taking control of your life, and not allowing it to be misguided by attachments that you formed in an unhealthy way from a time when you were in a more unhealthy mindset. You've now undergone a certain transformation, and you're ready to move forward. This person is ready to move forward. I keep saying you or this person because it really could go either way. Are ready to move forward into this new beginning. And we're talking about relationships, so we have the Ace of Cups here, the new beginning in love. Remember, the past is now behind you. Release it and embrace new possibilities. A new path is now available to you. Follow it with faith. If this is your person, if you feel like this is your person and you are the person who's stagnated or wasn't ready or whatever, don't respond to this with attachment type energies. Respond to this also with the third chakra type energy of knowing what your worth is. Because once you're both in your place of knowing of your self-worth, then you'll be in a place to be able to start this new beginning in a healthy way, not through the cords of attachment, okay? All right. If that resonated with you in some way, please let me know. And move on to the next. So number 4. Okay, number 4 is somebody who's telling you that they're going through an awakening process. They're going through a shattering of what their life was before, their own old perceptions of their lives. And I feel like it's showing them the things that are holding them back at this point. And it may be breaking down all the things that are holding them back. And so in this sense, this is probably another person in some kind of karmic situation. They are saying that they are gaining their own personal power. I feel like for them, they're starting to understand manifestation better. With the Queen of Wands and the Three of Wands together, I feel like that's some really strong manifestation power, and they're just really having their eyes opened to what that actually means. They may also be realizing that this awakening, this judgment and tower period that they're going through right now, is the result of their own heart's desire to break out of a particularly stagnant situation where they felt all tied up, as this oracle card says. It was like their soul's calling to get out of that situation. And I'm feeling that through this Hanged Man card. It's almost like this higher purpose in what feels like a breaking open of not only one's spiritual life, but also their physical life. I do feel like they're they are feeling very exhausted. They feel like they've been through a lot. They feel like they've seen their entire lives dumped on its head. And they're saying that they really are seeing the light now. They do feel kind of beaten down. In some ways, like, the strength to move forward is coming through this feeling of being a martyr for their own advancement or their own enlightenment. And so this is a really important time for them. This is a really important time of self-actualization and understanding who they really are, and they're really digging deep. Like, they're understanding how strong they really are right now. They're making choices that they never thought that they were going to be able to make. This Lover's Oracle card says, when it comes to matters of the heart, there is no right or wrong. Every choice you make expands your understanding of life and love. And so I feel like for them, they're making the impossible choices, and they're making them because they know it's in their highest and best good. And these are choices that it's like they're walking into it. It's like, I guess I'm getting this picture of Joan of Arc, like walking into the burning flames, knowing that it was going to be the death of her, but also knowing that it was going to be, the resurrection of her or something like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, they know what they're doing, and they know that this is like a complete devastation of life as they knew it. But they also have this feeling of like, I can't see life in the same way that I did before. Now that I know, now that my eyes are opening, I can't see life in the same way that I did before. And therefore, I cannot continue to authentically live this life in the way that I did before, if that makes sense. So they're just really transforming their entire perspective and their entire lives right now. And I feel like they're just expressing to you what's happening for them, and that they are feeling their own personal power, but they are also feeling so beaten down. But they know they've chosen this, and they've made this choice, and they're going to get through it. And their perspective is completely shifted. Whatever they thought was right and wrong before, whatever they thought life was about before, is totally changed now. This person's got a lot of confusion happening right now. I don't see the moon card here or anything like that, but I feel it in my heart space. I feel this feeling of, I don't even know the rules anymore, is what I just heard. I don't even know what the rules are now. So this person needs your patience, but the understanding that they're going through a major transformation, and they will emerge from it. So if this resonated for you, that was number 4. I would really like to hear what you thought of these, if they were accurate at all, and if they apply to your circumstance. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and I will talk to you guys soon. All right, bye.